Hey gorgeous souls, I'm Isabella, and I'm about to tell you the most devastating best friend betrayal story that turned my cancelled wedding into the reason I orchestrated the complete destruction of my former best friend's dream wedding, and how I used her own secrets to humiliate her in front of 300 guests while stealing her groom at the altar. When I discovered that my maid of honor Emma had been secretly sleeping with my fiancé Jake for 6 months and convinced him to leave me 2 weeks before our wedding, I didn't just cry and move on. I uncovered Emma's lies about her pregnancy, her affair with her future father-in-law, and her theft from the wedding fund, then used all of it to destroy her wedding day while stealing her backup groom who turned out to be desperately in love with me. But here's where this wedding revenge gets absolutely insane. Emma hadn't just stolen my fiancé. She'd been planning to steal my entire wedding, including my venue, my dress design, and even my honeymoon reservations. When I ruined her wedding day, she lost her groom, her family's respect, her reputation, and her freedom when she was arrested for fraud, while I ended up married to the man who'd been secretly loving me for years. This story has everything: maid of honor betrayal, stolen fiancés, fake pregnancies, wedding sabotage, altar drama, and the kind of wedding day revenge that turned my biggest heartbreak into the most satisfying victory of my life. Y'all ready for this wedding disaster? Because this is how one stolen fiancé became the most expensive mistake my best friend ever made. Beautiful souls, let me take you back to 8 months ago when I thought Emma Rodriguez was my soul sister and that we were planning the wedding of my dreams, completely unaware that she was secretly plotting to steal my entire life. I'm Isabella Chen, 27 years old, and I work as a marketing director for a luxury hotel chain in Miami, Florida. I've always been the type of person who believes in loyalty, friendship, and supporting the people I love. Emma Rodriguez, also 27, had been my best friend since college, and I trusted her with every detail of my life, my relationship, and my deepest secrets. Isabella, you're like the sister I never had, Emma would tell me constantly. I would do anything to protect your happiness and support your dreams. Emma and I had been inseparable for 6 years, sharing apartments, vacation trips, career advice, and relationship drama through every stage of our 20s. We're going to be best friends forever, Emma would say during our girls' nights. Nothing could ever come between us because we're family. My fiancé Jake Morrison, 29, was a successful real estate developer who'd been dating me for 3 years before proposing with a beautiful engagement ring. Isabella is the most amazing woman I've ever met, Jake would tell our friends. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life making her happy. Jake and Emma had always gotten along well, which I appreciated because friendship approval was important to me. I'm so glad Jake fits in with our friend group, I would tell Emma. It's perfect that my fiancé and best friend like each other. Jake and I had been planning our dream wedding for 8 months, with a $75,000 budget for an elegant ceremony at the Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables. This is going to be the most beautiful wedding, I would tell Emma while showing her venue photos and decoration ideas. Everything has to be absolutely perfect. Emma had enthusiastically accepted my invitation to be maid of honor, claiming she was honored to play such an important role in my special day. Being your maid of honor is the greatest privilege, Emma would say. I want to help make your wedding day absolutely magical. Emma had been involved in every aspect of wedding planning, from dress shopping to vendor selection to honeymoon recommendations. Emma has such great taste, I would tell Jake. Having her help with planning makes everything so much easier and more fun. We'd spent countless hours together choosing flowers, tasting cakes, selecting music, and coordinating all the details that would make the day perfect. Your wedding is going to be legendary, Emma would tell me during planning sessions. Every detail is so beautiful and elegant. Emma had also helped coordinate my bachelorette party, bridal shower, and engagement celebrations, always presenting herself as the most supportive friend. I want to celebrate you and Jake in every possible way, Emma would say. This is such an exciting time, and I'm so happy to be part of it. I'd found my dream wedding dress at a boutique in South Beach, a custom-designed gown that cost $8,000 and required months of fittings. This dress is absolutely perfect on you, Emma had said during our shopping trip. You look like a princess, and Jake is going to cry when he sees you. Emma had been present for every dress fitting, helping with decisions about alterations and accessories. "The beading on this dress is incredible," Emma would comment. "The designer really captured exactly what you wanted." I'd also shared intimate details about my relationship with Jake, including our plans for starting a family and buying a house. "Jake and I want to have kids within 2 years of getting married," I'd confided in Emma. "We've already started looking at houses with good school districts." "You and Jake are going to have the most beautiful children," Emma would respond. "You're both so attractive and successful, your kids will be incredible." Emma knew about our honeymoon plans to Italy, our financial goals, and even our most private relationship dynamics. "I tell Emma everything because she's like family," I would explain to Jake. "She's the most trustworthy person I know." Because Emma was my maid of honor and closest friend, I'd given her access to wedding vendor accounts and payment information to help coordinate final arrangements. "Emma, can you handle the final payments to the florist and caterer?" I would ask during busy work weeks. "I trust you completely to manage these details." Emma had access to our wedding fund bank account, vendor contact information, and detailed planning spreadsheets. "Having Emma help with financial coordination takes so much stress off both of us," I would tell Jake. "She's incredibly organized and responsible." Emma had also been collecting gifts from the bridal shower and engagement parties, maintaining lists of who gave what for thank you card purposes. "Emma keeps track of everything perfectly," I would tell my mother. I don't know how I'd manage this wedding without her help. The level of trust I'd placed in Emma was complete and unconditional. She had access to every aspect of my wedding and personal life. "Emma is the most loyal friend anyone could ask for," I would tell people. "I know she'd never do anything to hurt me or betray my trust." This complete trust and access would ultimately give Emma everything she needed to orchestrate the most devastating betrayal of my life. Gorgeous souls, 2 weeks before my wedding day, I discovered the most heartbreaking betrayal that shattered not only my engagement but also revealed that my best friend had been systematically destroying my life while pretending to support me. About a month before the wedding, I began noticing subtle changes in both Jake's and Emma's behavior that seemed odd but not alarming. Jake had become more distant and distracted, often checking his phone secretively and working late more frequently than usual. "I'm just stressed about work and the wedding planning," Jake would explain when I asked about his behavior. "Everything will calm down after we get married." Emma had also become strangely possessive about wedding details, insisting on handling vendor communications privately rather than including me. "I want to surprise you with how perfectly everything comes together," Emma would say when I asked to review vendor confirmations. "Trust me to handle the final details." I'd also noticed that Jake and Emma seemed to have more private conversations when we were all together, often stepping away to discuss wedding surprises. "We're planning something special for your big day," they would tell me when I asked about their secretive discussions. "You're going to love what we've arranged." Emma had been asking unusual questions about my relationship with Jake, probing for information about our future plans and potential problems. "Are you and Jake completely happy together?" Emma would ask during girls' nights. "Marriage is such a big commitment, are you absolutely sure he's the one?" These questions seemed supportive on the surface but felt invasive and inappropriate for a best friend to be asking so close to the wedding. The truth came to light when Jake left his phone on my kitchen counter while showering, and I saw multiple text notifications from Emma appearing on his screen. The visible message preview showed, "I can't wait until after we tell Isabella. Then we can finally be together openly without hiding." Shocked and confused, I opened Jake's phone using his passcode, which I knew because we'd shared everything, and found hundreds of text messages between him and Emma. The messages revealed that Jake and Emma had been having an affair for over 6 months, starting just 2 months after our engagement. "Last night was incredible," Emma had texted Jake. "I hate that we have to pretend to be just friends when Isabella is around." "I know," Jake had replied. "But we need to wait until after we tell her about us. Then we can stop hiding our relationship." The text conversations also revealed that they'd been meeting secretly multiple times per week, often when I thought Emma was helping with wedding planning. "Can't wait for our dinner tonight while Isabella thinks you're working late," Emma had written just 3 days earlier. "She has no idea we're together," Jake had responded. Sometimes I feel guilty, but then I remember how much better we are together than Isabella and I ever were. Even more devastating was discovering that Emma and Jake had been planning to use my wedding vendors, venue, and arrangements for their own wedding after breaking up with me. The Biltmore reservation is perfect, Emma had texted Jake. After we tell Isabella, we can just transfer the contract to our names and keep the same date. Your dress is going to look amazing on me, Emma had written in another message. The designer said the modifications will be easy since we're similar sizes. Jake and Emma had been systematically stealing every aspect of my dream wedding while pretending to help me plan it. The honeymoon reservations in Italy will be perfect for us, Jake had texted. Isabella won't want to use them after we break up, so we can just change the names. They'd even been coordinating with vendors to ensure smooth transitions from my wedding to theirs. The florist confirmed that we can keep the same arrangements, Emma had written. She thinks it's romantic that we're getting married so soon after Isabella's wedding gets cancelled. The level of planning and manipulation was staggering. They'd essentially been stealing my entire wedding while letting me pay for everything. The most shocking discovery was that Emma had been lying about being pregnant with Jake's baby to pressure him into leaving me. I'm scared about telling Isabella about the baby, Emma had texted. But she needs to know that we're having a child together. The pregnancy changes everything, Jake had replied. We can't keep pretending when we're going to be parents together. However, further investigation of Emma's messages with other friends revealed that the pregnancy was completely fabricated. I'm not actually pregnant, Emma had admitted to her sister in a separate text thread. But Jake believes I am, and it's making him finally commit to leaving Isabella. Are you sure lying about pregnancy is a good idea? Emma's sister had replied. This seems like it could backfire badly. Jake needed a push to make the right decision, Emma had responded. Once he leaves Isabella for me, I'll just say I miscarried from stress. The fake pregnancy revelation showed that Emma was willing to use any manipulation necessary to steal Jake and destroy my life. Armed with comprehensive evidence of their affair and deception, I confronted Jake immediately when he emerged from the shower. Jake, I know about you and Emma, I said, showing him his own phone with their text messages. I know about the affair, the fake pregnancy, and your plans to steal my wedding. Jake's face went completely white as he realized the extent of evidence I'd discovered and that his deception was completely exposed. Isabella, I can explain, Jake said desperately. This isn't what it looks like. It looks like you've been cheating on me with my best friend for 6 months while planning to steal my wedding and use it for yourselves, I replied with devastating accuracy. Jake initially tried to deny the affair, but the text evidence was overwhelming and impossible to explain away. The messages are taken out of context, Jake claimed weakly. Emma and I are just friends who were planning surprises for your wedding. Jake, there are messages where you discuss sleeping together and planning your future after leaving me, I pointed out. Stop lying and just admit what you've done. Eventually, Jake confessed to the affair and his plans to leave me for Emma, but he tried to minimize the betrayal. I fell in love with Emma, Jake said as if this justified months of deception. We didn't plan for this to happen, but we can't help our feelings. You've been planning to steal my wedding and use my vendors for your own marriage, I responded. This wasn't accidental, it was calculated theft and betrayal. Jake left our apartment that night, moving in with Emma and confirming that our engagement and relationship were over just 2 weeks before our wedding day. Beautiful souls, discovering Jake and Emma's betrayal was devastating, but it also ignited the most strategic and comprehensive revenge plan that would turn their stolen wedding into the complete destruction of both their lives. Heartbroken, but determined to understand the full extent of their betrayal, I hired a private investigator to uncover everything Jake and Emma had been hiding. I need to know exactly what they've done and what they're planning, I told the investigator. There's more to this story than just an affair. The investigation revealed that Emma's deception went far beyond stealing Jake. She'd been systematically sabotaging my life for months. Emma has been spreading rumors about you at work and in your social circle, the investigator discovered. She's been trying to damage your reputation while building support for her relationship with Jake. She told mutual friends that you were controlling and that Jake was unhappy in your relationship. The evidence showed. She was preparing people to accept their affair as justified. Emma had also been stealing money from our wedding fund, using vendor payments for her own purchases and expenses. She diverted approximately $8,000 from wedding vendors to personal accounts, the investigator revealed. She's been funding her affair with Jake using your wedding money. The financial theft explained why some vendors had been asking about overdue payments. Emma had been stealing the money while telling me everything was handled. Even more devastating was the revelation that Emma had been having a second affair with Jake's father, David Morrison, for over a year. Emma has been involved with both Jake and his father, the investigator revealed through hotel records and credit card statements. She's been manipulating both relationships simultaneously. David Morrison has been paying for Emma's apartment, car payments, and luxury purchases, the evidence showed. He believes he's in an exclusive relationship with her. Emma had been telling David that she was single and available while simultaneously stealing his son's fiancé. She convinced David that she was a struggling single woman who needed financial support, the investigation revealed. He has no idea she's been sleeping with Jake. The affair with David explained how Emma had been able to afford her lifestyle and wedding planning involvement. Jake's father had been unknowingly funding her betrayal of his own son. Emma has been stealing from your wedding fund while David Morrison pays her living expenses, the investigator explained. She's been scamming the entire Morrison family. This revelation gave me the perfect ammunition to destroy Emma's relationships with both Morrison men simultaneously. The investigation also revealed that Emma had been secretly coordinating with my wedding vendors to transfer all arrangements to her name after my wedding was cancelled. Emma contacted vendors immediately after Jake broke up with you, the investigator discovered. She had contracts ready to transfer everything to her wedding with Jake. She's been planning to use your exact wedding design, flowers, cake, and decorations, the evidence showed. She essentially stole your entire wedding concept. Emma had even arranged to buy my custom wedding dress from the boutique, planning to have it altered to fit her for her wedding to Jake. The dress shop confirmed that Emma put a deposit down on your dress just 2 days after your breakup, the investigator revealed. The vendor coordination showed that Emma's betrayal had been planned for months, not the spontaneous falling in love that Jake had claimed. This was a calculated heist of your entire life, the investigator concluded. Emma planned to steal your fiancé, your wedding, and even your dress. Armed with comprehensive evidence of Emma's multiple affairs, financial theft, and systematic manipulation, I planned the most devastating wedding day destruction possible. I want to destroy Emma's wedding as completely as she tried to destroy mine, I decided while reviewing all the evidence. My plan included exposing Emma's affair with David Morrison to both Jake and David simultaneously, ensuring that both relationships would be destroyed. When Jake learns that Emma has been sleeping with his father, he'll realize she's been manipulating him too, I planned. I also prepared to expose Emma's financial crimes to vendors and authorities, ensuring that her theft would have legal consequences. Emma stole $8,000 from wedding vendors using fraudulent payments, I documented. That's criminal fraud that can be prosecuted. The timing would be perfect. I would destroy Emma's wedding during the ceremony itself, ensuring maximum humiliation and witness presence. Emma wants to steal my wedding, so I'm going to make sure her wedding becomes the most humiliating public exposure of her life, I planned. I also coordinated with Jake's business partner, Marcus Chen, who had been secretly in love with me for years and was devastated by my engagement to Jake. Marcus has always been supportive and honest, I realized. He deserves to know the truth about Jake and Emma's deception. When I told Marcus about Jake and Emma's betrayal, he revealed that he'd suspected their affair for months and had been trying to find a way to warn me. Isabella, I've seen them together multiple times when they thought no one was watching, Marcus confessed. I didn't know how to tell you without sounding jealous or vindictive. Marcus also revealed that he'd been in love with me since college, but had never said anything because I was with Jake. I've loved you for years, Marcus told me honestly. But I respected your relationship and wanted you to be happy, even if it wasn't with me. Jake never deserved you, Marcus continued. You're incredible, and he was an idiot to throw away what you offered him. Marcus's revelation was shocking but also healing. Here was someone who had genuinely cared about me while Jake was betraying me. "Marcus, why didn't you ever tell me how you felt?" I asked, realizing that I'd always felt a connection with him that I'd ignored out of loyalty to Jake. "Because I thought you were happy with Jake," Marcus replied. "I would never interfere with your happiness, even if it meant sacrificing my own." Marcus agreed to help with my revenge plan, providing inside information about Jake's business and personal vulnerabilities. "Jake has been using company resources for his affair with Emma," Marcus revealed. "That's embezzlement that could destroy his business license." The alliance with Marcus gave me both emotional support and additional ammunition for destroying Jake and Emma's lives. Gorgeous souls, Emma's wedding day became the most spectacular public destruction when I exposed all her affairs, theft, and lies in front of 300 guests while simultaneously stealing her groom and revealing my own surprise wedding to the man who truly loved me. Emma and Jake's wedding was held at the Biltmore Hotel, the same venue I'd originally booked for my wedding, with 300 guests and all the vendors I'd originally selected. She literally stole every detail of my dream wedding. I observed while watching the setup from a distance. Even the flower arrangements are identical to what I'd planned. I'd coordinated with several wedding vendors who were disgusted by Emma's theft and agreed to help expose her crimes during the ceremony. "What Emma did to you was unethical and fraudulent," the wedding planner told me. "We want to help you get justice." I entered the wedding venue as a surprise guest just before the ceremony began, positioning myself where I could document everything. "Isabella, what are you doing here?" several guests asked, clearly uncomfortable seeing Jake's ex-fiancé at his wedding. "I have some important information that the bride and groom need to hear," I replied mysteriously while setting up my presentation materials. Marcus was also present as Jake's business partner, ready to support my revelations with additional evidence about Jake's embezzlement. Just as the officiant asked if anyone objected to the marriage, I stood up and addressed the entire wedding congregation. "Yes, I object," I announced clearly. "And I have evidence that this marriage is based on fraud, theft, and multiple affairs." Emma's face went completely white as she realized I was about to expose her secrets in front of everyone she cared about. "Isabella, what are you doing?" Jake demanded from the altar. "This is inappropriate and vindictive." "What's inappropriate is stealing someone's fiancé and wedding while lying about pregnancy and cheating with your fiancé's father," I replied while displaying evidence on screens around the venue. I revealed Emma's affair with David Morrison first, showing hotel records and financial transactions that proved their relationship. "Emma has been having an affair with Jake's father for over a year," I announced as both men looked shocked and betrayed. "David has been paying Emma's rent and expenses while she stole his son's fiancé," I continued while David Morrison stood up in horror. "Emma told me she was single," David announced to the congregation. "She's been lying to both my son and me." Jake's reaction to learning about Emma's affair with his father was immediate rage and devastation. "You've been sleeping with my father?" Jake screamed at Emma. "While planning to marry me?" I then revealed Emma's theft from my wedding fund and fraudulent vendor payments, showing bank records and forged documents. "Emma stole $8,000 from my wedding vendors to fund her affairs," I announced while displaying financial evidence. "She used fraudulent checks and false payments to steal money while lying to me about vendor coordination," I continued as vendors nodded in confirmation. The wedding planner stepped forward to confirm Emma's criminal behavior with vendor payments and contract manipulation. "Emma attempted to transfer Isabella's entire wedding to her name without paying vendors," the planner testified. "She committed fraud against multiple businesses. She also tried to steal Isabella's custom wedding dress," the dress shop owner added. "We have documentation of her attempted theft." The financial fraud revelation showed that Emma had been systematically stealing from multiple sources to fund her double life. I then exposed Emma's fake pregnancy claim and her manipulation of Jake through false medical information. "Emma lied about being pregnant to pressure Jake into leaving me," I revealed while showing text messages where she admitted the deception. "She planned to fake a miscarriage after securing Jake's commitment," I continued as Jake realized the extent of Emma's manipulation. "You lied about being pregnant?" Jake asked Emma in front of 300 witnesses. "You manipulated me with a fake baby?" Emma's inability to deny the evidence in front of so many witnesses made her guilt obvious to everyone present. "I can explain," Emma said desperately, but the documented evidence made her lies impossible to defend. "Everything about our relationship has been based on lies," Jake realized aloud. "You've been scamming my entire family." As Emma's wedding collapsed in front of everyone, I revealed the final twist that would complete my revenge and personal happiness. While Emma was stealing my fiancé and my wedding, she missed something important, I announced to the shocked congregation. "Marcus Chen and I have been planning our own wedding, and since this venue is already decorated and all the vendors are here, we're getting married today instead." Marcus stepped forward and proposed to me properly in front of everyone, with a ring he'd been carrying for months. "Isabella, I've loved you for years," Marcus said loud enough for everyone to hear. "Will you marry me today and let me spend my life making you happy?" "Yes," I replied as the congregation gasped at the unexpected turn of events. The wedding officiant, vendors, and even many guests were supportive of the spontaneous wedding switch. "This is the most romantic thing I've ever seen," guests were saying. "Isabella deserves someone who truly loves her." Emma and Jake were forced to watch as their stolen wedding became my actual wedding to someone who had genuinely loved me all along. As Marcus and I exchanged vows using Emma's stolen wedding setup, federal agents arrived to arrest Emma for fraud and elder abuse of David Morrison. "Emma Stevens, you're under arrest for financial fraud, theft, and elder manipulation," the agents announced during our wedding reception. Emma's arrest at what was supposed to be her wedding day was the perfect culmination of her public destruction. "The evidence of financial crimes and elder manipulation is overwhelming," the lead agent explained to the guests. Jake's business partnership with Marcus was dissolved due to Jake's embezzlement, leaving him financially ruined and professionally destroyed. "Jake used company funds for personal affairs," Marcus announced. "He's no longer welcome in our business." David Morrison pressed charges against Emma for financial fraud and elder manipulation, ensuring serious legal consequences. "She stole from me while manipulating my family relationships," David told authorities. "I want full prosecution." Emma was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for fraud, theft, and elder abuse, with orders to pay full restitution to all victims. Marcus and I had a beautiful wedding using Emma's stolen decorations, with 300 witnesses who had seen justice served in the most dramatic way possible. "This is the most incredible wedding I've ever attended," guests told us. "Love and justice triumphed over betrayal and theft. Our marriage has been incredibly happy, built on genuine love and respect rather than the lies and manipulation that characterized my relationship with Jake. Marcus treats me the way I always deserve to be treated." I reflect on our relationship. "He's everything Jake pretended to be." Jake lost his business, his family relationships, and his reputation due to his embezzlement and affair with Emma. Jake's choices destroyed every important relationship in his life, people observed. He threw away everything for someone who was scamming him. Emma's imprisonment and public exposure ended her real estate career and destroyed her family relationships permanently. Emma's greed and manipulation cost her everything, her former friends commented. She lost her freedom, career, and reputation for stolen money. "That's how you handle a best friend who steals your fiancé and tries to steal your wedding, y'all. You investigate their crimes, expose all their lies, and turn their stolen wedding into your own perfect day with someone who truly loves you. Sometimes, the best revenge comes from letting people destroy themselves while you build something beautiful with someone worthy of your love." Emma and Jake thought they could steal my life and get away with it, but their greed and deception ultimately led to their complete destruction. Trust your worth, gorgeous souls. When someone betrays you, don't just survive, use their betrayal to find something better than what they stole. Never let cheaters and thieves convince you that you deserve their betrayal. Fight back and find people who appreciate your true value. And gorgeous souls, if this story resonated with you, if you've been betrayed by friends or partners who tried to steal your life, I want you to know that justice and love are both possible. If you want to hear more stories like this, more tales of wedding revenge, friendship betrayal consequences, and unexpected love, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Your support means everything to me. Beautiful souls. Every like, every comment, Every share helps me reach more people who need to hear these stories. So smash that subscribe button, leave me a comment about your own experiences with friendship betrayal and romantic revenge, and let's build a community of people who refuse to let thieves steal our happiness. I'll see you gorgeous souls in the next story, and remember, never let anyone steal your dreams, investigate when people betray you, and always believe that you deserve genuine love and loyalty.